What's up, everybody? This is Moose Smoke Podcast, episode 114. 114. 114. I'm your host, Ryan.
114?
This is Matt. Over
Hi.
there.
Hi.
He's looking sexy.
I have a headache.
And he has a headache.
Uh-huh.
But it's really hot where he is. So that's probably why he has a headache.
That's why I'm wearing no shirt.
I wish you would wear no shirt. We'd get way more viewers.
Be blasting them nips all day long.
That's how you get popularity. Is you just got to take off the shirt and let the girls.
It's true.
Fucking motorboat your titties.
Let the girls out.
Yeah. How's you?
Okay, I had an annoying week at work and just life,
Yeah, life. I hear you, buddy. You did a bunch of Whip Wednesday and fucking other shows, and you're a really busy boy.
I did Whip Wednesday on Wednesday. What a surprise!
With your wife.
Kate was the guest. It was pretty funny.
It was funny. I watched about the first 35 minutes of it.
She stayed for like an hour, so I was like pretty surprised. So.
I got to get back to it. I just haven't had time, but she was very funny. You guys have like a good banter going on, and
I thought it would be funny, so that's why I kind of thought.
I mean, she has some
kick it back.
Terrible opinions, but just
so
kidding
funny.
Around.
So funny.
Fucking dogs me on Android, has terrible Zelda opinions. I'm like, what is wrong with this woman?
It's funny. So I did that, and then like earlier tonight I did Collector Express does this thing called customizing showcase, and it's like they talk with a customizer about customizing and go through a bunch of work and stuff, and it was really fun. I was just saying to you before I kind of got on here, it's as much as I enjoy doing the shows with everybody else, it's fun to do it with a customizer who has like a better, a more in-depth understanding of like the hobby, like the customizing side of things, right? Because it's not just like, what's your favorite? I mean, like I said, it is that too, but it's not just like, what's your favorite custom? What would you want to make? Again, no shame to any, like I love answering those too, right? But it's just
you've answered the same question 60,000 times. It's like
yeah. So having somebody who like customizes too and can ask more like specific questions about the hobby and stuff, it's fun. It was really fun. It was actually, I had a really good time.
Well, it's like an athlete that gets interviewed in intermission during hockey or like fucking halftime in football. It's like, hey, so how'd you do that play? Well, I went down there and I threw the ball and it went in, and like, oh yeah, so what do you guys got to do better in the next next half? Well, we got to really work together as a team. It's like the same generic answers every time. So it's like, or a band, it's like, oh yeah, you play rock show. Great. No, I've only heard that song like 65 billion times. Like, it's the same generic thing, right? So I totally get it. Like,
it was fun. It was really fun. And I have a, I've done like Jared, the Collector Express, has been on my show a couple times, and he watches it pretty regularly too. So yeah, it was good, man. I had a good time. I had a nice time chatting with them and got to show off a bunch of stuff and walk through my process on a bunch of stuff, which was fun. I haven't done that before on a live stream, so
nice.
It was pretty cool.
Pretty
good. Pretty cool. Pretty good.
That's right. No, I didn't do really anything exciting this week, honestly. I just in a funk. I don't know.
I hear you. I'm in a funk also.
I just I'm not feeling too motivated to do really much of anything, and I'm just kind of burnt out on television a little bit right now, so I watched a bunch of movies instead.
Nice.
I don't know. I've just been in a real funk is the best way to put it. I need a vacation. I need to get out of here. I need a break.
I understand. I'm in a similar boat. Well, thankfully, the end of August will be here before you know it. I know it seems like it's far away, but it'll be here before we know it.
Bought my train tickets for Fan Expo, so
nice.
We're all squared away there. We got our tickets already, so
yep. Tickets are done.
Hotel's
plane
done.
Ticket for me is done. Hotel's done.
Train ticket done. So everything's squared away there, and hopefully
we just need to buy a jumbo quart size of lubricant of some sort.
Yeah, pool. At least a pool. Like I want a 10-foot pool so we can jello wrestle. And Yeah, exactly.
You're my boy, Blue.
Exactly. That's exactly what I thought of too. What a movie. What a movie. Yeah, no, I'm excited for August, but I don't want the summer to go too fast. I love summer. It's my favorite time of year, and like I just want it to fucking snail by, you know. But
I don't love summer, so it can go. That's cool. Give me to August.
Please don't.
I got to go to California first, so
yeah, I'm jealous. I wish
June 3rd. So
yeah, we won't have an episode that week. Just a reminder.
Right. June 3rd, the actual date. That's the date of the Saturday.
Next week we will be talking South Park on Sunday. We came up with as a topic. We're going to do our both of our top 5 episodes. So if you're a South Park fan,
I'll come prepared with 10, so that way if there's any duplicates, I can just relate to other ones. So
I was thinking to do the same thing, but
it's hard to narrow down to 5. I think.
Oh, totally.
I think it'll be hard, but
I gotta sit there and like skim through the seasons and like write down my favorites of each season and then narrow that down and then narrow that down, and like it's gonna be very hard to get it down to 5 or 10 even. But
I'm gonna watch probably 5 or 6 of them if I can, and then so they're kind of fresh on my mind. But I mean, I've seen all of them so many times, like.
Well, except for the recent episodes, I've only seen.
Yeah, but none of those would be on my.
I don't know. I haven't even seen the last 2 seasons, so.
Yeah, I probably would like. For me, it'll be. I could pretty much tell you mine are gonna span from like season 5 to 10, probably.
Yeah,
maybe 11 or 12 too.
Season 2 or 3 till 10, but
yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, so that will be our episode next week. Then we'll be off a week, and then we'll come back with Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Season 16, episode 1.
I have to figure out where I'm going to watch Always Sunny because I don't know how I'm going to watch that because I don't have cable.
Either do I, but I mean, we can find you an illegal means to watch it.
Okay. Sounds good.
On top of that, are you planning to see The Flash or no?
Oh yeah, when is that?
The 16th it comes out.
Yeah, I probably will. I don't know if I'll see it right away because I think there's a bunch of the time in June that I'm staying at my in-laws' house because they're going out of town, so we need to watch their dogs. So, and they don't really have a movie theater nearby, so
it's all right.
We'll have to see.
We'll talk about it when we talk about it.
Yeah. But yes, I probably am going to see it. It seems like it's getting lots of love, so
yeah.
I probably will.
And then we'll get into Secret Invasion and all that.
I'm assuming you're going to go see that too, right?
Yeah, I'm on vacation that week, so I'd probably see it the 16th.
Nice,
but
nice.
If we can get tickets, I don't even know if it's sold out already or what. I don't even know if tickets are on sale.
I'm doubting very much that it's sold out. So.
Well, I think the Flash is going to be packed.
I think it'll be packed, but I think you could probably get a little bit closer before you have to worry.
I don't know. We'll see. But
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's about it. I mean, did you watch anything this week? Did you get into anything?
Well, like as I was saying to you, I in anticipation for South Park, I listened to the Book of Mormon. Excuse me, the Book of Mormon soundtrack, like yesterday and today, and been listening to it pretty much nonstop today.
Nice.
It's fucking just making me laugh. For anybody who doesn't know, the Book of Mormon's a musical, a stage musical that Trey and Matt did. The guys who did South Park, they wrote like a musical, like a theater musical about the Mormon religion. It's very fucking funny. I've seen it twice, and I just love the songs. They're super catchy and they're funny, and so I've been jamming to that quite a bit the last couple days. And in terms of watching, I watched Evil Dead, and yesterday I just happened to watch The Hot Chick because Kate put it on, which was weird. And
The Hot Chick's with the one with Rob Schneider, right?
Rob Schneider is
okay.
Stapler.
What's the other one that? Oh, is it White Chicks with Damon?
Yeah,
Wayans?
that's the Wayans brothers. Yeah,
okay.
I don't really like that one that much. Kate likes that one too. I don't really like that one.
I couldn't remember which one was which.
Yeah, Hot Chick is Rob Schneider, where Rachel McAdams turns into Rob Schneider.
Right. I think I've only seen it once, and I wasn't that high on it, so I don't
Rob
really
Schneider
remember.
Is a stapler. Yeah. First, you saw him as a chick, then you saw him as an animal.
Yeah.
And now Rob Schneider is a carrot.
I saw the animal in theaters, so I remember that.
There's some stuff let's put it this way: it's definitely of its time, and it's pretty like, especially when you watch it now, it's like it's pretty like stereotypical racist on a lot of stuff too. Like
Yeah.
there's
It
like
does,
a black girl whose mom is like Asian, and like she's like the most stereotypical like Asian like stereotype. She like works at like a nail place, and like she's always like, "Oh, hey, I help you," and it's just like,
I remember that.
yeah.
But it's weird, like how quickly things change, right? Like
yeah,
20,
totally.
it's not even 20 years, probably.
I mean, we
it's probably
wouldn't
like
even
early
bat our
2000s.
eyes at that, like,
No,
10 years ago.
that was early 2000s comedy.
Like now, as I'm watching it, it's like I'm like cringing. I'm just like, oh my god,
Yeah, you couldn't do that now. Yeah,
black stereotypes, Asian stereotypes, women stereotypes, right? It's just like.
But like I said, like when I went back and watched the first season of Survivor, I was like, you could not air this on television today. Like there was so many homophobic comments made from one of the contestants to the other contestant, and I was just like, there's no fucking way you could air this on television now. Like, and that's 2001. So yeah, like 20 years. Like,
yeah, that probably falls in line with the hot chick too. So
yeah,
but yeah, it was like Kate put it on, and I wasn't gonna stick around and watch. I had shit to do, but I was like, I don't know, a couple jokes got me into it, and like there's like a cameo from Adam Sandler, and he's like plays this like stone guy with like super long dreadlocks at like this like shop that sells all these like, you know, it's like almost like a Green Earth type store, right? Where it's like all this like, and he's just like, hey man, this is where you can hold your weed, right? And then like this like lady's telling about like the earrings that turn Rob Schneider or turn the girl into Rob Schneider or whatever, and as she's like explaining like why they're not for sale, you can like kind of hear like the drums in the background starting to like build up, and she's like, hey, would you stop? And he's like, oh, you can hear that? It's just like,
it's great.
It's pretty funny, man. So yeah, so I was chuckling a bit, so I ended up sticking around and and watching it. But yeah, and then I showed you, and I posted on Instagram today. I got this super fucking cool,
it's very awesome
Kirby Nandoroid Good Smile figure, which I just love. He's got these cool, he's got magnets in him, so you can kind of put his little hands and his feet however you want. It doesn't matter. He's got different face plates. He's got 4 different face plates. He's got accessories. He's got like a wand. He's got a little like football beat thing. He's got a like a heart. So on a little stick with like a little bag on it or whatever. A brindle. Yeah. So it's pretty fucking cool. I like.
No, that's really cool. I wish they made like a lot more like that, man. It would be awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense that they do him this way because it's like I don't know how you do it any other way. Like put like tracks for the arms to move because then he would just be covered in like holes and shit, right? So
yeah, no, for Kirby that makes perfect sense. I mean, he's just a little ball. It works. If
my
he had,
only
like, an actual body or anything like that, then it wouldn't work, right? So
yeah, my only complaint is he doesn't have like an inhaling face. Like there's no face of him with his mouth open.
Right.
You know, sucking in or whatever, right? I was gonna say a sucking face, but
yes, good old sucking face.
Nintendo
kid friendly.
Yep, I'm missing the sucking face.
Yeah, we always do.
Yeah, but that's all I got into this week. I didn't have time for anything else.
Fair enough. I watched a bunch of movies. So obviously we're talking Evil Dead Rise tonight, so we'll save that talk for a little bit, but that made me want to go back and watch all the Evil Dead movies. So
oh shit, really?
Yeah, so I watched Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, and Evil Dead 2013.
Nice. I remember Evil Dead 2013. That was a pretty good one.
Oh, Evil Dead 2013 is awesome. It's it's so gory too.
Yeah, it's really gory.
Army of Darkness, I think I've only seen once before today, like, or yesterday or whatever when I watched it.
Army of Darkness is funny, but it's not scary. It's just funny.
No, it's definitely a comedy. Like, it's a slapstick comedy. It's probably my least favorite out of all of them, but
yeah, that's fair. I think it's probably mine too. I mean, I think I don't like Evil Dead 1 that worse, but
yeah,
like Evil Dead 1, but
I mean, Evil Dead 2 is Evil Dead 1. I mean,
I know. It's just basically made it funnier and expanded on it a little bit.
And
everything else.
They had a bigger budget and like stuff like that. It looks better in every way imaginable. But there's no point of going back to watch Evil Dead 1. Evil Dead 2 is the better version of it. So
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, Army of Darkness is fine. Like, I like the story elements of it, but like it's just very like slapstick and like kind of corny at times, and like it just doesn't really hold up that well. It looks really bad at parts. I mean, so does Evil Dead 2, but
Yeah. Ash is like a totally different character in Evil Dead 1 too, right? Like he's like a fucking pussy ass.
Yeah. They changed his character a lot, but like
big time.
I don't know. Like I love Ash as a character, but like I really wish that we got like a more serious version of him. Yeah. And like I haven't seen Ash versus the Evil Dead the show. Like me and Matt were kind of talking about that previously in the week, but I think I'm gonna give it a shot. I know it's like I think 10 episodes a season, and I think it's only 3 seasons, so it's not too much to watch. Yeah. And if I don't like it, I can always bounce. But like I don't know what the tone of that show is, like if it leans more into the comedy or if it's like a more serious take on Ash as a character. So I want to check that out. But I love Evil Dead 2013 and then Evil Dead Rise, obviously we'll get into in a minute. But besides that, I watched The Pope's Exorcist with what's his face? Fucking fighting around the world. Why can't I think of his name?
I can't think of his name. Fighting around. I'm gonna look now because it's gonna drive me nuts if I don't know.
Fucking Russell Crowe.
Yeah, Russell Crowe. There you go.
Russell Crowe plays like a priest.
Come here, Tugger.
Tugger. I love that fucking episode. Anyway,
that's a great episode.
That's a South Park episode for people that don't know what the fuck we're talking about. But
shit.
Russell Crowe plays like the exorcist to the Pope, basically, and like there's a kid that's possessed, and it's very stereotypical like exorcist movie, and it's like it's fine if you're like looking for that type of film, but it's like so paint by numbers, and so like if you've seen The Exorcist, you've seen this movie basically. It was fine. I wouldn't watch it again. I wouldn't wouldn't go out of your way to watch it. If you find it on Netflix and you're bored one night, sure. Then I watched
Exorcism of Emily Rose better.
Oh, that movie's awesome.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, I agree. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Then I watched Renfield, which is with Nicolas Cage. He plays Dracula.
Oh, yeah. I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Fucking awesome, dude. Like, I had such low expectations of that movie.
That's new, isn't it? Newer, right?
Yeah, just like February or March it came out.
Cool.
I had really low expectations from the trailers for that movie and the commercials I seen for that movie. I was like, this looks like fucking corny as shit. It's definitely like a horror comedy, but like it's so much fun. It's gory as fuck.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Cage as Dracula. Like it's just straight up Nicolas Cage, and like it's just so much fun. I had a great time with it, so I recommend that for sure.
Did you ever end up seeing that Nicolas Cage movie where he does all the different?
I haven't yet, no, but I want to watch it.
It's a good one.
Now that I like, I don't know, I've been in like a horror mode, but now that I watched that, and I was like, oh, I'm in the mood for Nick Cage, so I might go back and watch like fucking Con Air and shit like that. And
you're in a horror mood, a whore.
Always whores. So yeah, then I watched like, I don't know, 10 episodes of South Park, probably just random episodes.
Nice.
Which kind of got us talking about South Park, which is why we're doing the topic next week. And then obviously I'm still watching From, Yellow Jackets. I watched one episode of The Sopranos, but I just haven't been in the mood for TV, so I kind of put that on pause. Yeah. Succession is fucking just crushing this last season. It's so fucking good. Nice. Only I think 2 more episodes of the series, so we're getting right near the end.
That's the end, like series finale, right?
Yeah.
I think they'll do spin-offs for certain characters, or
I don't think so. There's rumors that they like kind of wanted to do some spin-offs and stuff, but like I mean, maybe depending on how it ends, I guess they could, but
yeah.
I think it's better to just end it where it's at. It's so good though. Fuck, the writing is so good. Last week's episode was all about the election that's going on in the show, and like it was a straight parody of like making fun of like Trump and America and like all that shit going on. Like very social commentary on what actual elections are going on and how like the media kind of pushes a narrative, and like it was really solid. Cool. And then let's see, Yellow Jacket season finales next week, so fucking that show's just flying by. But it's been real. It's solid. It's not as good as the first season, but it's solid.
Okay.
Ted Lasso. This is the last season of that too. So I think we only have 2 more episodes of that show too. But it's been a good season. I'm enjoying it. Also want to pimp Jeopardy Masters, which is like a spinoff of Jeopardy where they got 6 of the best players of all time in a tournament.
Oh, cool.
And they all go head to head like over like 15 games or something like that. It's really some of the best Jeopardy. If you're like a Jeopardy fan, like I am, you'll fucking appreciate Jeopardy Masters. It's like such good tournament so far.
It's the same game, right? It's just concentrated on.
So
Like,
instead of money total, the winner of each game gets rewarded a certain amount of points, and it carries over game to game. So like the top 4 people are moving on to the semifinals, and then so on and so forth. But it's like some of the like best players ever to play the game. So it's like really, really like close each game, and it's like, this is awesome. So also listen to a podcast I've recommended before, but Plain English with Derek Thompson. He did a episode on AI and ChatGPT and how that's kind of going to take over the world. He was on Bill Simmons' podcast as well, talking to Bill about like the repercussions of what could go on with AI and everything like that. Both episodes I highly recommend, are very interesting. But some of the stuff that they're talking about, like Bill was talking about how he's already in talks with Spotify for them to take his voice and just have AI do the ad reads in Bill Simmons' voice.
That's crazy.
And that's apparently 6 months away. And Spotify's ad reads will all be done by AI.
Whoa, that's crazy. Well, it's funny that you said that, because today I stumbled across a campaign ad by Joe Biden, but I don't think it's like an official one, but it's something someone made using AI. And it's like, it's hilarious because it's like, I mean, it sounds just like him. It's crazy.
Well, that's the terrifying part.
I know, but he's like, I'm old as shit, but he's like, but someone's got to be here to stop these fucking morons.
See, that's the scary part, though, right? Is like, they're in one of the conversations they were talking about how Grimes, the musician, I don't know anything about them, like her as a musician.
Like a rapper, isn't he?
No, it's a woman. She was married to Elon Musk.
Oh.
I think they're divorced now, but she's apparently the first musician to make a deal with AI, to like the owners of the AI programs, that they can steal her voice and teach AI to sing in her voice as long as she gets part of the money. And
crazy.
They're already like saying that like this could change art, as like you won't know what songs are actually real.
Can't tell what's legit. Yeah.
There was the Derek Thompson, who runs the show, was saying that he fed ChatGPT like episode ideas for the show Chicago Fire.
Mm-hmm. And
he gave it like all these like specifications of like what he wanted for the episode, and it spit out a episode like whatever summary.
Like a plot, yeah.
And he's like, it was like B+, A- of like, you could totally pass this off to do an episode of next year. Like, so like he was saying like, how does this affect the writer's strike? Yeah. Do you even need actual writers? Like, could you just have an AI writer? Then you just have one person feeding it what you want for that week, and then it spits out a plot. Yeah. Like, how does this change art? How does this change humanity? Like the voice dubbing stuff. Like, how do you know what's real and what's fake? And it's terrifying. Like it could definitely be like apocalyptic in nature, but
sure,
it's interesting.
Yeah, I actually have a friend who I went to college with who lives out here. He's in advertising, and I mean, he's not anymore. He does his own stuff, but what he's been getting into lately is a lot of AI. And when I went out for dinner with him, probably a month and a half ago now, we were talking about it, and he was telling me how like in his company they pay like a lawyer to basically write up like documents about like because he sells ad space, like media buyer, like kind of thing. And something came up where he needed something done like quickly, and the person that he usually works with was unavailable, so he just used ChatGPT or whatever, and basically just had a lawyer look over it. So instead of billing a lawyer for like 20 hours, he billed her for 40 minutes, and she looked over it and she's like, yeah, this is all fine. This all works fine. Like, it's like so crazy that like, it's so crazy that you can take like especially something like a lawyer, like you make like that's big money, right? And you're just eliminating it by just using something that's free, like a free software. And
Well, there was a part of that episode was talking about how they're feeding AI programs into drones for warfare, and they're teaching the drones what to look for that the like military needs to know. So it's like, go to this area of the world or whatever, search out tanks in the area, and it can ping out what actually looks like a tank, notify the GPS situation, and then feed that back to like the person in charge or whatever, and then they can make their military decisions. And it's like, if things are getting that smart, like, it's terrifying. Like,
yeah, man.
I don't know. It's all scary shit. Like,
I mean, leave it
Terminator
to humanity
shit.
leave it to humanity to find something that could end humanity, and then
Totally.
they just want to play with it. It's like,
yeah, well, there's talks of like what happens if somebody launches a nuke that takes out like the actual like network for like the counter nuke system or whatever, right? That, and then somebody suggested, why don't we just give it the power to the AI, so that if something goes on, the AI can make the decision of whether it launches nukes or not. Yeah. It's like, don't do that. Yeah, exactly. That's Terminator. Like, don't do that.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Sounds
so
great.
It was a super interesting conversations. Anyway, I recommend both pods. Plain English, like, he does a lot of like different topics. Like, it's not just about AI, but the most recent episode was. So I recommend that. Yeah. Other than that, that's all I got.
Word, son. Word.
Evil Dead Rise.
Evil Dead Rise.
Spoilers.
Put that spoiler tag up, dog.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
What did you think?
I thought it was pretty fucking bloody, and which I guess I should not be surprised by, because pretty much all the Evil Dead movies are pretty bloody, even the old ones.
Yeah, for sure.
I mostly liked it. Like, I mean, there's definitely things that I thought were a bit much, but I would say, like, as a whole, I thought it was pretty cool. I liked that it took place in such like a close quarters. Like, I mean, I guess in the old ones they're in the cabin, so I guess it's kind of similar, but yeah, just like the change of scenery was kind of nice, like being in like a condo, and I guess it's not really a condo, it's like more of like a slum fucking apartment, but
yeah, totally.
But yeah, I liked it. There's pieces about it that I really liked, and then some parts that I was like, how come no one's noticing that? That seems weird.
I loved it. I mean, I obviously, yeah, there's always those question marks of like, why,
especially in horror movies, right? There's
always.
Lots of times where you're like, what the fuck? Why would you not pay attention to that?
Right. Like, even in the past Evil Dead movies, there's so many character moments where you're like, why would you do that? That doesn't even make sense. But overall, like, I think it's a fucking great sequel for the fucking fifth movie in a franchise. Like,
yeah, I agree.
I mean, I know it's kind of been rebooted, and like what kind of is part of the, you know, actual story and not, but yeah, I loved it. I thought it was so much fun. It was gory as all hell. It was suspenseful. It was tense. Yeah. Like the whole opening, I was just like on the edge of my seat, and then like it just keeps ratcheting up the tension, and like by the end, I was like, Jesus Christ, like this movie is fucking crazy. But I had so much fun with it. I one of my favorite horror films of the last few years, for sure. Nice. Like I think it was just a blast to watch.
Yeah, there was. I mean, again, I liked that. I liked that we shifted it around a bit. Like, it was nice that it wasn't in a cabin this time.
Totally agree.
You know, because I feel like it's hard to like keep doing the same thing and, you know, getting a different result, or, you know, there's so many times where it's like, you know, there's paying homage to something, and then there's like just doing the same thing over and over again, right? So.
Totally. And especially after Cabin in the Woods and stuff too.
Yeah.
Like Cabin in the Woods was so fucking good. And like, I don't think you can top that in real anyway. Like even the Evil Dead remake or whatever, 2013 Evil Dead, you know, it's still in the cabin, and it differentiates itself enough from the original two Evil Dead movies. But like, there's also a point where you're like, all right, it's another cabin in the woods. You know, this is going to go wrong. How is this going to go wrong? Like, you kind of can predict a lot of things from it, where this, I was like,
totally
very different setting. It's in a city. Like, how does this work in an apartment building? You have the neighbor situation going on. Like, it was very, I love the creative decisions to it. And like, I like the look of the building. It's like very like slummy
Yeah,
and like run down. Yeah, it's very cool. I love that like earthquake is kind of what sets it all off to begin with.
Yep.
Very like
earthquake, like the wrestler earthquake.
Yes, that's exactly.
Imagine just that big guy just running.
Like I like the idea that like it was buried in the ground in like a bank vault type thing, and like the records I thought were like super creepy.
I thought that was a cool idea too. The records was a cool idea.
Yeah, like I don't know exactly how you record live to record, but
they figured it out.
Yeah, apparently they figured it out. But like I just thought it was way creepier than
record of the dead.
Yeah, exactly. It's creepier that it was on record for some reason. Like old vinyl for some reason just has that like crinkly noise that just kind of creeps you out. Yeah. And anytime like, you know, a priest or anything's talking about like a Book of the Dead or whatever, it just adds the like creep factor to me. So
totally.
The kids I thought was a nice touch too. We've never really had like kids in an Evil Dead movie, and like anything with creepy kids just freaks me out. So
she was like, Kate, this morning I woke up, Kate was like, how was your movie? And I was like, oh, it's pretty good. And I said, I kind of told her what it was about or whatever. And she's like, so you watch kids die? And I was like, yeah, I guess. And she's like, that's pretty fucked up. And I was like, well, yeah.
I mean, it's horror movies.
Yeah, it is a horror movie. I guess it's weird though, because you don't really see that, right?
I mean, depending on the movie, I guess. I mean, generally it's like teenagers. Stuff, yeah.
Not kids. Like they're pretty young. I mean, the one kid, I guess I guess they were both like,
the older kids.
Enough, but
yeah. I mean, the
usually they don't pass as teenagers, I guess is what I'm saying. Usually the teenagers that are dying look like they're like 25.
Yeah, usually you only see kids in like possession movies, right? Where like the kid's getting possessed and it's a spooky house and the kid's being all creepy, but Paranormal Activity or fucking, you know, exorcism movies, whatever. But the kids added the creep factor for sure, and like the graphicness of this movie, like some of the scenes I actually had to look away because I was like, this is so fucking like, I don't even know what the right word is for it, but like
there was some pretty intense graphic stuff. Like the cheese
grater was the cheese grater
across the back of the leg. Like, oh my god,
yeah,
so painful.
That was bad. The eating the glass.
Oh, the glass was fucked, man. Too.
I was
when
like,
she swallows it and you see it kind of going through her throat and stuff. Like, oh, dude.
I was like, no, I can't do that. I'm not about that life. Yeah, no, it was very, very like graphic at parts, but like the actresses that play, they're the main actress that played like the main possessed woman or whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Elle. I don't know who the actress is, but her character's name was Elle.
Alyssa Sutherland.
She did a great job.
She was fucking awesome.
It's very scary too, right?
Yeah, very scary, very like mommy creepy factor that I like. It just I don't like it. I
know.
And I like I said, like the slumminess of the building, like they incorporated the elevator and stuff into it, and like the air vents and stuff like that. Like I liked that. It made it feel like a little more like a Die Hard situation combined with like a horror movie. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I like.
Oh, go ahead.
I like the new like book too. The look.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about what you thought about the book. I thought the book was really cool. Just different from what we've traditionally seen. The remake, the 2013. Since it's fresh on your mind, did they just use the old book for that, or was there a different book for that one too?
It was similar to the original book.
But different though.
I think it was different enough that it's a different book. Like I'm pretty
sure that would be like one of the three then, probably, right? Because that's how it kind of ties all these together, right? That's the cool thing about this one is in the records they talk about like having 3 different books or whatever for the Book of the Dead.
Well, that's what happens in Army of Darkness, right? Like,
right.
Ash goes to that like altar that has the 3 different books, and I think that's what they're playing off of.
Yes, okay.
That there's 3 different books, and he chooses one to bring back to the castle or whatever in Army.
Barata!
Yeah. Yeah, the second Evil Dead remake or whatever. It has a different book and it's like wrapped in barbed wire in like a bag or something like that, and it looks a little different. Like it doesn't have like the ear on the back or any in the face as much. It is human skin again, but it's like very like stitched human skin on the front and stuff. So it's definitely a different book than the original. And then this one is obviously different again because we got like the fucking teeth that's like clawing the book shut.
Teeth that close it. Yeah, that was cool.
Really cool. Like I as soon as that movie was over, I went online and I was like, do they sell like a replica of this? Because I would totally have that on my shelf at the back. That's fucking cool.
Oh my god, that'd be scary.
But I couldn't find one. They had replicas of the early books, but
I like how all the like artwork in the book and this one looked too. Like almost looked like really it was cool. Like drawn in like blood almost, right? Like
they've always been in blood, but like this one like looked really like
it was pretty cool.
The earlier movies, like it's like, oh yeah, it's in blood, but it like just looks like somebody got like a red colored pencil and drew it. Yeah. Where this looked like, it was like fucking blood, man. It was intense.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I really liked it.
But yeah, like
I also liked. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I also liked the how she kind of transformed when she got possessed. Like, you know, her face kind of went almost like bluish purpley, and then like her eyes went yellow, and like again, just like how like even just the eye movement, how like, you know, it's just like the sudden you know, it's just like
they've always had the eye color change, but like this one just looks so much more realistic. Like obviously just because of the budget and
sorry, I didn't hear what you just said. My apologies.
They've always had the eye color change, like even in the earlier movies, the eyes always change, but it just looked like somebody was wearing like really bad contacts.
Yeah.
Where like now it just looks obviously because of the budget and the time, but like it's just so much more realistic, and her skin is just like falling off her face and shit, and like it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it looked good. Like all of the visual effects here looked really good.
Yeah. So. I think this is like only the director's second movie, if I'm not mistaken. So crazy. I really hope they get another shot at like another sequel, because I think they did an awesome fucking job with this.
Yeah.
And like the kids did great. Like usually kid actors are like very hit and miss for me, where I'm like, oh, that kid's really annoying or whatever. And I thought the kids did great in this movie.
Yep. Yeah, I liked it. I liked how the possession came to be, like, and I liked how again there's a lot of stuff that like calls back to the old movies, like even just the demon like coming to the body, how it comes, like the camera just looks like it's like running at the person, right? Like there's that, and then like all the callbacks with like the chainsaw at the end was really fun.
The ending was awesome,
dude. So much blood though, like that elevator scene is like bonkers.
The elevator scene and then the wood chipper.
Oh my god, wood chipper. Yeah.
So like obviously for people that haven't seen this movie, we're ruining it for you, but whatever. The like first possessed woman basically incorporates two of the kids into her body to become this like, I don't know, like
super demon
that has like 3 heads basically, and is like chasing the other main woman, and basically she shoves her into a fucking wood chipper, and it's just like a fountain of fucking blood, and it's so awesome. She uses the chainsaw and like
that comes after an elevator fills with blood, and then the wire snaps because there's so much weight, and it drops, and it's just like blood everywhere, right? Like
it reminds me of The Shining when the elevator opens. Like it was awesome. It was so gory, and like you just don't really see movies like that now. Like there's not that much blood in movies anymore. Like it's such an 80s thing. I don't know.
Well, again, and then there's just everything from like stabbing someone in the face with scissors. Like when Bridget or whatever, like the younger girl, like the girl who gets possessed gets on top of her brother and stabs his arm into starves a knife through his arm into the counter so he can't move. It's just like, oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's so intense.
So fucked up. Yeah. Where's Nike Boy when you need him? You need his horror opinions on this. I wonder what he thought of this.
Yeah, I don't know if it was him or Neil that messaged me and said they seen Evil Dead and like it was like awesome, but I can't remember who messaged me who, but one of them definitely liked it. But yeah, no, I thought the whole movie was great. Like I love the way it ended. I love even the beginning, like the opening scene at the cabin. I was like, when it started,
I was concerned that it was going to be more cat stuff, but the only reason I knew it wasn't was because I listened to like I kind of knew what was going to happen because I watched like that Weekly Planet podcast I listened to. They covered this like the week it came out.
Nice.
And I listened to it, but it's like that's when I knew I wanted to watch it because they both spoke like super highly of it, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a good sign. So.
Yeah, like I was a little worried that it was going to be a cabin movie again, and then like the fact that it changed so quickly, but just like the fucking demon grabbing the girl's scalp and ripping off her scalp, I was like, oh god, like we're in for an intense fucking movie right from the get-go, you know. And it didn't disappoint. The whole movie's just as bloody and intense. So
even when the mom gets possessed initially, when she's in the elevator and all of her bones turn around and like her limbs all go backwards, I'm just like, oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it's all fucked up.
Yeah, it's not good. You don't want that. It's gonna ruin your weekend.
You don't want that. You're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
You don't pizza and French fry, you're gonna have a bad time.
Exactly. Yeah, I really hope they do another one, and I would love if they brought in. I mean, I don't think Ash will come.
Yeah, he's kind of at the point where, like, age-wise, I feel like that would be tricky to do.
That and he's already said like he's basically done with the role. Like he doesn't want to carry on doing Ash anymore. But
I mean, if they offered him money, I mean, what else is Bruce Campbell doing, really?
No, I get it, but like I think they kind of ended his storyline with the show. Like I think he sees the ending of the show as
like why ruin the legacy of the character that he's done for so long. Yeah.
So I think like he was like I'm done with the like there's nothing else I can do for this character. But like I think it would be awesome to get all three main, like him, the main girl from Evil Dead 2013, and then this main girl, and like have them all have chainsaws and fighting off like some kind of deadite apocalypse or whatever. Like I think that would be cool. So fucking cool.
That would be cool.
Like even if they have to call it Army of Darkness Part 2 or something like that. Like there was rumors that they would be for a long time that they wanted to do a sequel to Army of Darkness just because of the way Army of Darkness ends.
Yeah.
I don't know if they touch on that in Ash versus Evil Dead, like if that storyline is concluded in any way, but like there was two different endings to Army of Darkness, and like the one that was in the theatrical version was not the original ending. The theater wanted them to like make it a happy ending, so like he goes back to his own time or whatever. But the original ending, which I watched, is isn't he at S-Mart and they like it all happens again or something in S-Mart, doesn't it? Isn't that what happens? That's the ending they put out, but the actual original ending was he like when he's drinking the drops to go back in time, he takes too many and he goes forward 1,000 years too much, and the entire world's an apocalypse.
Oh damn.
And so he's like, what the fuck? I went too far. I slept too long. And like, you see like, I don't remember if it's like buildings and shit all crumbled and down on the ground or whatever. And he's like in an apocalypse. So like, I think it'd be really cool if like they took that kind of idea and carried it farther, and like reading from the third book or whatever, like set off the Deadite apocalypse in some way. And like fucking, it's just like a swarm of them. I think it would be so much fun to just, walking down streets, just chainsawing apart demons and shit.
That would be dope.
It'd be so much fun.
Cool. But that would be pretty sweet to see.
I don't know what their plan is. It made a lot of money, so I'm hoping they're already in talks to do another one, but we'll see.
That would be nice. It's cool to see that something that a franchise that's been going this long actually still has legs enough to like even be a box office success, which is great.
I think it's just because it hasn't been overdone. Like,
yeah, maybe. I guess when you consider how old it is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, there's only like 5 or 6 of them, right? So.
The last movie came out 10 years ago. The movie before that was like over 10 years ago. Like, so you're putting a movie out every 10 years. Like, hopefully it doesn't take 10 years for the next one. But like it's not overkill. It's not a franchise that gets beaten to death,
Another thing that's cool too is like aside from like the paying homage to older stuff, but I mean like it's like there's not like a set of rules that this has to follow, you know what I mean? So it's like if you come up with an idea that's really compelling and cool, you can just basically just make it like a possession movie, and like you can kind of do what you need to do to make it work for your story, right? So you don't have to have like an ongoing thing, you don't have to have like a any of that, right? You can just
there's not a main character that you have to really follow, right? Like you can have new characters every time and it just works because it's a new situation. And totally. I don't know. I mean, like, I think we're kind of in a horror renaissance right now with all the Scream sequels that we've gotten, the Halloween sequels that we got. And now they're doing a new Exorcist trilogy.
Right.
I think Saw 10 is supposed to come out this year.
Saw 10.
Well, I think it's called Saw X. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it, but apparently it was supposed to come out this Halloween. I don't know if that's still the plan or not. But and then you have Evil Dead coming back. Like, there's just so much horror remakes / horror sequels.
So much classic.
Like, it's a matter of time before they bring back Freddy, a new Freddy movie. I wouldn't be surprised if a Jason movie's like they're trying to get that done. So like,
I'd do Freddy again. I didn't even mind the last one. It was okay, but like, I mean, I didn't think it was great, but it was fine.
It's better than some of the sequels.
Hell yeah. There are some great Freddy movies though.
Totally.
Like,
But
I really like the first one, and I really like New Nightmare, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I quite like that one. So
I think
Freddy vs. Jason.
No, well, I like that movie. I know it's like considered really bad, but I think it's just a lot of fun. But
I was never a Jason fan, so didn't really.
Yeah, I was a Jason fan. I wasn't a Freddy fan growing up. I was hardcore Jason. But I don't know. Like, I love Jason X. Jason X is considered like a fucking abysmal movie, but like I think it's such a fun, ridiculous movie, and I totally would love like I don't know what you do with that series, but like a rebooted Jason in some way that like is kind of got an original idea. It doesn't even have to be Crystal Lake and all that shit. Let's do something different with Jason.
Sure.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Or incorporate them all. Like I know that like after Freddy versus Jason, there was rumors that they wanted to do a Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
Michael Myers. Oh, that'd have been cool.
And I was like, that'd be amazing. Like, I would love anything like that. Incorporate all of them into like one mega movie. It'd be a blast.
Yeah. I liked when the girl at the surviving lady at the end, she's like, "Come get some."
Yeah.
It was like nice.
Beth.
Yeah.
No, it reminded me very much of Ash, like in his like little, groovy catchphrases. There, it's just like,
doesn't he said that, didn't he?
Does he say "come get some"? Yeah,
I think so.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think that's why they said it. I'm pretty sure.
I just watched them and don't remember. It's already gone.
Yeah.
That's how my mind works. It's 10 minutes ago. It's gone.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. No. So overall, I fucking loved it. I highly recommend it. It's out on digital now, so you can get it, rent it.
That's
whatever.
what I did.
Yeah.
I rented it. It's $25, but
yeah, it's steep.
Yeah, it's pretty steep, but it was good. But it was short. But the thing that was cool about it was, you get 10 minutes of a little bit of backstory, you get 20 minutes of setup, and then you get an hour of just pure fuckery. And it's like, woo.
But see, there's like, that's the right kind of movie for a 90-minute movie. You don't need a 3-hour movie for that. Like,
I agree.
If this movie went on for 2.5 hours, you would have been like, all right, everybody's got their limbs lopped off. Like, we don't need any more of this. Like,
I agree.
I think a good movie, it can be 90 minutes if it's good. It can be 2 hours if it's good, but it has to feel like it deserves that amount of time. And this was the perfect length.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. So.
I don't know. They're all about 90 minutes, and I don't think they all just work as a good 90-minute movie. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't want it 2.5 hours. There's too many movies now that feel like they have to be 3 hours long, and I just
the thing is if you have to find shit to do, it doesn't make sense. Like, why?
And I'm too old, man. I gotta pee. I can't sit for 3 hours anymore. 3 hours. 3 hours just to, man. I drink a drink, and then I'm like, fuck. Hour in a movie, and I gotta pee. It's too much.
I get it.
But yeah, I recommend it. I loved it. It was a good time.
I also recommend it. I thought it was really fun. I thought it was very again, not for the faint of heart though.
No,
if you can't do blood, you should skip. I would say that of all the Evil Dead movies, like this one definitely leans into the gore more than the others. So
both Evil Dead remake and this one are
Evil Dead. Yeah, yes, Evil Dead remake's pretty.
The originals are corny enough that
that you can get past it. Yeah,
there's still blood, but like it's pretty like
it's like exaggerated. It's like
yeah. It's like red water fountains rather than like
exactly.
Blood, but I mean, these movies are not for the faint of heart in any way.
No,
if you don't like horror, you're not going to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I even like that part where she gets in when she walks in and goes to the kitchen and just turns on the stovetop and just starts throwing the eggs in the thing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? So fucked up.
But I thought she was gonna smash like the fucking hot frying pan eggs in somebody's face or something. Their face was gonna melt off, and I was like, oh no. I was really worried about that. I don't like melty skin; it grosses me out. Yeah, no, it was. I loved it. I don't know. I really hope we get another one.
Yeah, I do too. I'd watch it. So
yeah,
I mean, the thing is, the difference between you and me is like, you know, like I can't even tell you the last time I watched a horror movie. It's been a long, long time. Like it's like the genre I kind of just fell out of interest of. Like,
well, I mean,
I think as the horror genre progressed from like 80s, 90s into 2000s, the 2000s became a lot more about. It was like late 90s into early 2000s was all about like the jump scare, which like I don't love because they're scary, but it's like scary for the wrong reason, and it's just like I don't really love that. But then like from there it went from like jump scares to like
found footage.
How unnecessarily gory can we just make this? Like I think of Saw a lot in that way, right? Where it's just like, how absolutely ridiculous can we make this death?
Torture porn.
Yeah, it is. And I don't get into that at all. That does nothing for me. So
I like bits of both. Like it really depends.
Like I thought Saw 1 did a great job.
Saw 1's a great movie, but it's not torture porn, really. I mean, there's
not
brutal moments.
There is, but it's not like it doesn't.
It's not what it became.
Yeah, which is what Saw. Like even Saw 2 was pretty good for not doing that, but once we got beyond that, it felt more like torture porn.
The original Saw trilogy is obviously like I think very solid, but I think it just really like they made money and they were just like, all right, we got to keep pumping these out. Basically, what they did with
out every Halloween,
right? So for 7 years straight, we got Saw movies, but
yeah.
It's the same with Paranormal Activity, where like I think the original movie is so fucking solid, and I think the second one's also very solid. But then like it was like, all right, we got to keep pushing these out. What do we do next? And it's like, all right, they're not gory, but it's like we didn't need more of these. You told the story in 2, like it was good.
Yeah. But that was even what was that? What's that one with Patrick Wilson and Vera, whatever her name is?
Conjuring.
That was the same. Like Conjuring 1 was pretty sweet. Conjuring 2 is pretty good too. And then once we got past that, I was just like,
No, they're still making more. So
I know.
I love the Conjuring 1, and like I like the idea of like having pulling real life stuff into the movies and whatever. Yeah. Well, real life in quotations, because I mean, obviously these stories are fiction in pretty much every way imaginable. I mean, it's people trying to get money, but yeah, like I like that they pulled in like Amityville into this and like, so on and so forth. But the second one I felt was way too long. And then like it felt like it didn't really have like a cohesive story. They tried to bring in the nun thing and like all that stuff. And they spun it off into the nun. They spun it off into Annabelle. They did a third movie, which was fine, but it wasn't as good as the first 2. Now they're apparently talking to do a 4th movie. And I think they're doing the nun too. Like you don't need more.
No.
Do something different. Do something original. But what do I know that? I mean, these movies make money, so I'm part of the problem. I see all of them anyway, so it's like you can blame me. I
do actually.
Yeah, I watch so much horror. I love horror. I can't help it. I like the
horrors.
I like the tense feeling. I like the scary feeling. I like feeling scared. It's fun. It's energizing for some reason. It makes you feel alive.
I can tell that my taste for that kind of stuff has dissipated over the years, because even yesterday as I started watching, to like stop myself from being scared, like I was like on my phone, and I realized I'm like, I need to put my phone away. I'm just going to be on my phone the whole show. So I put my phone down and I like stuck it on the table far enough away that I couldn't reach it.
I think it's also like as you age, you understand the stakes a little more. Like as a teenager, you're like, whatever, life's stupid. It's a party. We're just having fun, whatever. And then as you get into your like 30s, 40s, whatever, it's like, oh, I could die. And that's terrifying. I don't like that,
Yeah.
So like, I think the stakes kind of matter more, and I don't know, but
except now I'm not afraid of knives. I'm afraid of heart attacks.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's what I mean. But yeah, no, I mean, I've always been a horror fan. I'll keep watching horror movies until
I love horse. Every time you say horror fan, I think of Danny DeVito.
I love Danny. What else we got? What are you doing this week on Whip Wednesday?
Well, I got all of these. I'm not looking forward to it, but I got all of these Carson Teva heads in.
Oh, right.
So I think I need to get them done. They arrived way later than anticipated. So they actually were scheduled for delivery like 12 days ago, and then the day they were set to go out, I got a notice that said they were being sent back. And what happened was the guy who sent them to me didn't include my address. He just did the street. He forgot to put the house number, the address number. So it got sent back. So I was like, fuck. So that was delayed. So, but thankfully, like he did it. He did me right. Like he didn't wait for it to get sent back. Like he like waited a couple days because I told him, let's just wait till Friday and see if it gets there fast. And if not, whatever. And he didn't. He like made new ones and like sent them out to me. So I was happy about that. But so yeah, so those arrived on Thursday this week. So I finished Bane. His head's not beautiful. All the way on right now. His head's sticking up a bit, but yeah, I finished Bane. So he's done. And then I have another figure that's a secret that I'm working on that I'm hoping to finish painting tonight or tomorrow. I'll probably be tomorrow because I have to get some sleep tonight because I have to get up early tomorrow. And then I'm hoping to photograph Bane and the figure I'm hopefully finishing for my friend the next couple days, and my summer swap figure. I have a bunch of shit I have to photograph, so I'll do that early next week, and then hopefully Wednesday I'll be able to start doing the what's it called, those Paul heads. So I think that's what I'm doing on Whip Wednesday is I'll probably be starting to paint those. So I'm going to hold off on guests for the first couple weeks I'm back. So I think the next 2 weeks I'll just do myself and just customs. And then the first week I'm back in June, because obviously when I'm in Anaheim, I'm not going to do a show. So I'm going to have Kyle Wadaga, who is an enabler on Toying Around's channel. He also works for Super 7. He's a lead toy designer for Super 7. He does all the Ninja Turtles toys and the Power Rangers and more. Nice. So I think he has agreed to do June 14th show. So yeah, should be good. So I think Kyle will be my first guest back. And then I'm working out some stuff with Stranded Customs. He'll be done teaching soon. School break starts or summer break starts for him soon. So
nice.
Do that. And yeah, that's about it.
That's cool, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, should be good.
So if you're not already, please follow at Customs by Matthew on Instagram and on YouTube.
Follow
because he's doing all that shit, and Whip Wednesday's back, so that's great.
We're back, baby.
You can also follow me at Moose Milk Media on Instagram and YouTube. Grab the podcast on podcast services. Thanos Eisenberg. Go Texans indeed. Love the Texans, buddy. My team, even though they're absolute dog shit. They're terrible.
I remember you saying that once before.
Yeah, they're second last year, and they'll probably be dead last this year. So
could be worse.
Anyway,
you could like the Lions.
No, the Lions are solid right now. So
okay. Well, see, that's what I know.
They won't be dog shit going forward. Well, that's to be seen. We don't got a team right now. I don't trust anything that's going on in our team, and our GM's fucking hog shit. So we'll see. But I like your positivity, and I hope you're right. I hope we get like 6, 7
hopefully
wins.
Get to celebrate. That would be wonderful.
Yeah. Even if I can just get like a half a wins, like more of the season, like 6 wins, 7 wins, I'd be so happy, man. But yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. We'll catch you next week for our top 5 South Park episodes.
Yeah.
And then we'll be off for a week. So I hope you guys all come by next week so we have a big send-off show for a week break.
Yes, that'd be great.
All right. Thanks, buddy, and I'll talk to you soon.
Peace out, everybody. Have a good week.